Peloton. Hey everybody, it's Joe Buffington with the Thursday Thinker. In this edition, I'm talking about peer pressure. The peer pressure I'm talking about is the good kind. So for many of y'all who are familiar with Peloton, it is a bicycle and they do cycling classes. During COVID, their business took off. As gyms were closed, people were isolated. They provided a opportunity for people to do a cardio workout and almost be associated and kind of connected with this online group of people who were working out at the same time. It filled an amazing void for a lot of folks in the exercise kind of area. Well, as gyms opened back up, COVID had receded. Peloton started to see that their market share and their popularity really wane. And it's interesting to watch this company evolve because they had been a company that had in-person studio cycling events prior to COVID. All of that changed with COVID. And now there's a really big push to get people back together in studio. And I've read some blogs and heard some things, people who've written and blogged about this stuff, and people are like, it's magical, right? Who've come to the in-person studio classes. And I've actually, over the weekend, they did this series called AFO, All for One, and they did these artist series, and they did a bunch of classes kind of celebrating the in-person studio events. And it's just interesting to watch a company that had really kind of taken and filled a big void in the world and provided this kind of online environment. But there's this huge push right now for them to provide some in-person events. And it's interesting, even though I haven't taken a class in person, the energy level that I see in the in-person where the studio instructor is there with a group of people versus the studio instructor's there all by himself just with a camera, it is way different. It is so much more lively. The instructors, and I've actually personally, I've had much better workouts when it is an in-person where he or she, the instructor, is there in a class environment. So as you progress, and I know some of you all, there are concerns, health concerns, which I totally get, but as we progress through and hopefully we are coming through the end of this pandemic, is that we start to see that there are these great opportunities that we take advantage. Because I'll tell you one thing from the business perspective, there are a lot of things that created some major cost savings for businesses to not have to do in-person events, office space, things like that. But I'm finding that it's also stagnated some businesses too. So that they've been able to save some costs, but it's prevented them from being able to march forward and actually innovate and create. Because there is something to be said for human interaction. There is something to be said for 1 + 1 = 3. So when you do see those opportunities to get together with people who maybe you haven't seen in 2.5 years, take full advantage of it. Because again, I think you'll find, just like the people in these blogs and these articles, that you will find sometimes your mundane get together might become magical, might become out of this world, just because that feeling of being together with other people with the same exact energy. So look forward to seeing you hopefully more and more in person, and have a great Thursday. Bye-bye.